As the elections campaign kicks off in India, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Meerut and will address his first party rally for the Lok Sabha elections in Uttar Pradesh, Meerut today. While on the other hand, the opposition bloc INDIA will hold a unity rally in Delhi's Ram Leela Maidan today. We will be tracking all of that on the show today, but first, the headlines on World DNA. Day of big rallies as election campaigning in India picks up. Prime Minister Modi to address a public meeting in Uttar Pradesh, Meerut, kicking off his party's campaign in the state. Opposition INDIA to hold a show of unity rally in the capital. Massive public demonstrations against the war in Gaza and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu held in Tel Aviv and other world cities for the 11th Saturday in a row. Israel-Hamas truce talks involving diplomats from Egypt, Jordan and France to resume today. Second shipment carrying aid leaves Cyprus for Gaza as concerns grow of famine in the war-hit strip. The three-ship convoy carries 400 tons of food and other supplies that could prepare more than 1 million meals. In the US, teams of engineers begin work to cut and remove the first section of twisted steel from the collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. 7 floating cranes, including one capable of lifting 1,000 tons, are on the site. Turkey votes on Sunday nationwide municipal elections. There's big focus on President Erdogan's bid to reclaim control of Istanbul from his rival Ekrem İmamoğlu. Erdogan won national elections last year, but the Istanbul City Corporation remains in opposition control.
Size yalanla, iftirayla.
Pope Francis conducts 2-hour Easter Vigil Mass at St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican, ahead of Easter celebrations across the world on Sunday. The Pope's Easter service comes amid renewed concerns about his health. It's a big day on the election campaign front in India. 2 big public rallies, one on each side of the political divide, will be taking place today. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will kick off BJP's election campaign in western Uttar Pradesh with a rally in Meerut. The BJP has fielded actor Arun Govil as its contestant from here. Rashtriya Lok Dal President Jayant Chaudhary, who recently joined the BJP-led NDA, will share the stage with the Prime Minister. Uttar Pradesh BJP General Secretary Anup Gupta has been tasked with coordinating the Prime Minister's rally in Meerut. Well, apart from Meerut, attendees from nearby constituencies such as Bagpat, Bijnor, Muzaffarnagar and Kairana will also join the rally today. The local administration has enhanced security measures ahead of the Prime Minister's rally. Flying drones, kites or balloons within an 8-kilometer radius from the rally venue has been prohibited under Section 144 of the Criminal Procedure Code. Meanwhile, the opposition INDIA bloc is gearing up for a major show of unity at the Ram Leela Maidan in New Delhi, where it plans to hold a rally demonstrating against the arrest of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and also former Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren by the Enforcement Directorate. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge and former President Rahul Gandhi will be present alongside top leaders of 11 other opposition parties that have confirmed their attendance at the rally in Ram Leela ground today. The Congress has said that the rally is to safeguard the Constitution and democracy. The opposition party stressed that a strong message will be sent out from the rally to Lok Kalyan Marg, signaling that the BJP-led government's time is up. Addressing a press meet on the rally, all constituents of the INDIA Jan Bandhan will be participating, while the administration has permitted 20,000 attendees for the rally. The police expects the turnout will exceed 30,000 people today. Staying on with stories from India. In the run-up to elections in India, the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party has released its 8th list of contestants. The list features a total of 11 names, including 2 from West Bengal, 3 from Odisha and 6 from Punjab. And this has taken the total tally of declared contestants of Lotus Party to 411. The key highlights from the list includes Dinesh Singh, who has replaced actor Sunny Deol, will be contesting from Gurdaspur. Former Indian envoy to the US, Taranjit Singh Sandhu, will make his electoral debut from Amritsar. Former Punjab Chief Minister Amrinder Singh's wife, Praneeth Kaur, will contest from Patiala. Additionally, former IPS officer Debashish Dhar will be contesting from West Bengal's Birbhum. And from Odisha, BJP announced B. Mehtab from Cuttack. He is a 6th-term MP who quit the Biju Janata Dal recently. In yet another news, the Bharatiya Janata Party won 10 seats uncontested in the 60-member Arunachal Pradesh Assembly. Officials have declared that Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu and his deputy Chona Men are among the 10 contestants who have been elected unopposed. Out of the 10 seats, single nominations were filed in 6 constituency, while in 4 others, opposition contestants withdrew their papers. Elections to other constituencies of the Assembly and 2 Lok Sabha seats in the northeastern state will be held on April 19th. The BJP-led NDA has set its eye on a target of 400-plus seats out of 543 this time. Moving on, thousands of Israelis gathered in Tel Aviv to demonstrate against the Israeli government's handling of the current situation in the Gaza Strip. And that is for the 11th week in a row. While scuffles between security officials and demonstrators erupted as crowds from 2 different demonstrations joined each other, demanding the government to step down. They asked for hostages held in Gaza to be brought back immediately.
Today we declared that Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister Netanyahu, is the obstacle between us and getting our hostages back. And we will relentlessly fight, legally of course, to have him removed from power and get someone else that can do the job and worthy of this, of the situation that can bring our beloved ones back. Until then, Benjamin Netanyahu is the main obstacle.
Demonstrations also took place in London demanding an end to the war in Gaza. The agitators carried placards asking UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to stop aiding Israel. Meanwhile, talks between Israel and Hamas are expected to resume in Egypt today. The warring sides have stepped up negotiations, mediated by Qatar and Egypt. Well, Netanyahu's office said he has authorized the Israeli negotiating team to meet with mediators in both Egypt and Doha. The talks are expected to be on a 6-week suspension of Israel's offensive in return for the proposed release of 40 of the 130 hostages still held by Hamas. Egyptian Foreign Affairs Minister met in Egypt with his counterparts from France and Jordan, with the situation in Gaza at the forefront of talks. Speaking at a press conference alongside Shukri and Francis Jean, Jordanian Foreign Minister said that famine in Gaza can be dealt with in a short time only if Israel opened the land crossings and border for aid to enter. And this comes after the US authorized the transfer of billions of dollars worth of bombs and fighter jets to Israel, even as Washington publicly expresses concerns about an anticipated Israeli military offensive in Rafah. Top progressive Democratic senators have also criticized US President Joe Biden's arms transfer to Israel. Israel, on the other hand, has said that it continues to operate and strike targets in the Gaza Strip. The IDF said that terrorists identified transporting weapons were eliminated in the central Gaza Strip and that they continue to conduct precise operational activity in the area of the Al-Shifa hospital. Meanwhile, a UN peacekeeping mission said that 3 United Nations military observers and a Lebanese translator were wounded while patrolling the southern Lebanese border. This is after a shell exploded near them. Meanwhile, ships carrying 332 tons of food for Gaza left Cyprus' Larnaca port in a convoy which will reach the besieged territory early next week. Moving on, in the US, a massive operation is underway to clear the mangled debris of the bridge that collapsed in Baltimore. Teams of engineers have started work on the intricate procedure of cutting and lifting the first section of twisted steel. Meanwhile, crews are measuring and cutting the steel from the broken bridge before attaching straps so it can be lifted onto a barge and then floated away. Maryland's Governor Wes Moore briefed the media on clearing operations and opening up of the shipping channel. He laid emphasis on the importance of Baltimore Port for the local economy.
The Army Corps and their partners will begin to move forward with the crane operations today. The north sections of the Key Bridge are going to be cut up and removed. This will eventually allow us to open up a temporary restricted channel that will help us to get more vessels in the water around the site of the collapse. Our economy depends on the Port of Baltimore, and the Port of Baltimore depends on vessel traffic.
According to Governor Moore, equipment on hand includes 7 floating cranes that have already been moved in. The largest of them can lift a load of 1,000 tons, 10 tugboats, 9 barges, 8 salvage vessels and 5 Coast Guard boats have also been deployed at the site. Baltimore's thrumming port has long been an economic engine that provides thousands of jobs for Maryland residents. The collapse has had an impact on local businesses and also industrial production. Well, following the tragic collapse of a Baltimore bridge, Francis Scott Key Bridge we're talking about here, attention is now drawn to the alarming number of structural deficient bridges across the country. From economic repercussions to the urgent need for repair, we uncover the major issues facing our infrastructure. Our next report tells you more.
As U.S. reels from the recent collapse of the Baltimore Bridge, a sobering reality emerges. Thousands of bridges in the United States are teetering on the brink of failure. According to federal data, approximately 42,400 bridges are rated as poor with an average age of 70 years. These deteriorating structures carrying 167 million vehicles daily pose a grave risk to public safety. Iowa leads the nation with the highest number of poor bridges, followed closely by Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Missouri. The catastrophic consequences of bridge closures extend far beyond traffic disruptions. A bridge collapse not only claims lives, but also inflicts substantial economic damage. In the wake of the Minneapolis Interstate 35 bridge collapse in 2007, Minnesota's economy suffered $60 million loss due to increased travel time and operating costs for commuters and businesses. Presently, closures in Providence, Rhode Island, Tacoma, and Washington have dealt severe blows to local businesses, with revenue losses and long-time repercussions for communities. While federal initiatives aim to address the nation's crumbling infrastructure, the scale of the challenge remains daunting. As America grapples with its bridge crisis, the need for decisive and comprehensive solutions has never been more pressing. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Meanwhile, in a sign of West's increasing reliance on India, the country's shipyards are now becoming a maintenance hub for foreign Navy assets in the Indo-Pacific. This comes as 2 Royal Navy ships from UK have reached India for undergoing repairs. It follows a similar move by the US Navy in 2022. Now, the Indo-Pacific region has always been a hotbed of activity. This comes at a time when China has the world's largest navy by fleet strength. Navies of all major maritime powers operate in the region and make their presence felt. Now, amid growing threats of pirate attacks, hijacking attempts, missile and drone attacks on commercial shipping, the deployment of Western naval vessels and their support fleet in the region has only increased in recent months. However, with increased deployment of Western naval ships in this region, there's also a need for support infrastructure. And this is to ensure that the vessels can seamlessly continue their missions. It includes facilities for maintenance, repair and overhaul of ships. As India strategically sits at the entry point of the South China Sea, it offers a crucial solution to this requirement of foreign navies. Well, in 2022, the US Navy's USNS Charles Drew tanker came for repairs at the L&T shipyard in Chennai. This was followed by a couple of more US ships needing Indian maintenance services. The US Navy has also signed a 5-year pact with L&T shipyard in Chennai. This week, 2 ships of the UK's Royal Navy arrived at the same shipyard. And this is the first time that UK's naval ships are undergoing repairs at an Indian shipyard. It is a direct result of the India-UK logistics sharing agreement, which was signed in 2022. This is also a growing sign of the India-UK defence collaboration. It will witness a UK carrier strike group operating in the Indo-Pacific next year while training with the Indian Armed Forces.